Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of Stallions Run. I'm, of course, your host, Buck, and let's get right into it with talking about that Stallions win over the New Orleans Breakers in an important divisional game. This was absolutely kind of the game where the Stallions, it was almost basically a win or you're out scenario for them. And they go in, it's an incredibly tough game, but they go in and they get this important win over New Orleans. Um, Basically gets them right there, first in the league at the moment, and we're also looking at first in the division. So let's talk about that, and we'll talk about the Philadelphia Stars near the end, and kind of look at again the team that we're going to be playing this upcoming Saturday. So first off, one, like I said before, this was an incredibly important game for the Stallions. They lost, of course, against New Orleans. They had the win against Memphis already, but then they go in and lose against Houston. I mean, this was you had to win this game to keep those playoff hopes alive. And you had to have a lot of things go right also, because you had to beat New Orleans, and then you also had to have fingers crossed hope that Memphis could probably put down Houston for a bit. And both things happened this weekend. And that sets Birmingham in a very good direction right now. They go in and get that win against New Orleans. Let's talk about that a little bit. Absolutely, I wouldn't say dominated from the start, because this was an extremely close game. It was a very good game, but Birmingham was able to go in and they were at least able to have control for the majority of the game. It felt like even when New Orleans scored, it felt like Birmingham still had a presence where they were able to go in and they were able to say, okay, we have Alex McGough, we have CJ Marble, we have Dion Kane, we have Ricky Pearson. We have these players where we're able to make these unique plays. Again, a T formation in 2023 scores a touchdown. Who would have thought? So again, we have those things kind of in the Birmingham favor. Again, it did help. The game was still in home for Birmingham, and a wonderful crowd came out to support the team. Very loud, I should also add. But again, Birmingham goes in, they get the win. Alex McGough has been carrying this team on his back. He is absolutely going out there and he is making great throws. That one drop pass in the end zone, though, that one drop pass, that's like it's like that was an easy 7 points right there. But in that first quarter, but again, Stallions go in, they get the 3 points, but Alex McGough, 198 yards, 2 touchdowns, absolutely kind of carried the Stallions throughout this game. He is right now the heart of this Stallions offense. And I would say even the heart of the Stallions team. He is absolutely going out there. He is the captain. He is the leader. He is the general. He is going out there and taking this team farther than maybe you thought it could. So interesting discussions that we're kind of going to have into the future regarding QB slots, it seems. But that's for another day. Still, though, Stallions defense. Quinn absolutely went out there. He absolutely tore it up when it came to going, just basically to terrorizing New Orleans. There was nothing kind of like it for him. So that was an extremely cool thing to see, what he was able to do. Co-defensive player of the week. An honors that Birmingham's been kind of missing for a while. So glad to see someone kind of step back up there and grab that. So I guess my final thoughts on this game to kind of just say everything. Like I said a billion times, very important. It was a needed win for the Stallions team, but it was a great kind of, I guess, a home win, because the Stallions have been they end the home stretch, the 4 games straight home stretch with the 2 losses. They're away, they get the win. You come back, you're playing New Orleans, a team that kind of embarrassed you in prime time, and then you come in to do Saturday's game. You go out there, you get that close, violent win over New Orleans. So we'll see how everything's going to play out. Right now, of course, we have that win over New Orleans. Then we're also going to have to probably beat out Houston and Memphis. So those are 2 very important games coming up, along with this upcoming game with Philadelphia coming into Birmingham. This is kind of a game that everyone has had marked on their calendars. And for a while, people thought it was kind of going to be a throwaway game. Philly wasn't doing so hot. They were kind of just there. They could win a game every once in a while, and then it seemed like they were losing a bunch. But here we are, Philly kind of rising back up, and they're becoming the dominant force of the North. What are we going to see here? It's right now, this game is going to be top of the South versus top of the North. And these are both teams need this win here. If New Orleans, they need that win this weekend, but they need Birmingham to lose more. Memphis needs Birmingham to lose more. Houston needs Birmingham to lose more. And Philly, they need to keep the rest of the North off their backs. So they need everyone. They need this win over Birmingham. So this is kind of a great regular season finale for home games for the Stallions. You have the top team in the North with Case Cookus randomly getting hot, Luis Aguilar, and then you have Colburn, Blackburn, just absolutely all these players who in Philly who you'll have one just snap get hot that week, and it's like how can you stop this man? So I am very interested to see what's going to happen with this game for Birmingham. I think the main thing they're going to focus on is Philly's offensive line extremely weak, and I think they're going to take pure advantage of that. What the Stallions need to do, just rush the quarterback, rush Cookus. That's exactly what you need to do to win this game. If they can force turnovers, if they can force anything, force a bad pass, get an interception, force a fumble, just force him to throw it away. I am telling you, that is exactly what the Stallions need to do with this upcoming game. I mean, that's the best tip I can tell you. Otherwise, stop rushing and also be wide. Look for a Cookus throw. Cookus can't throw it if he needs to. So kind of have a couple people on the back. Maybe just, you don't have to have everyone rushing and keep people back there. And like a JoJo who can absolutely go in, kind of stay with the receiver, double team if you have to a couple, and say, okay, if Case is going to throw this, let's either hope A for a bad pass or B, let's hope it's something that maybe he's going to kind of telegraph to us where he can kind of, we can kind of work with that. So I think right now the biggest aspect for the Stallions team this upcoming game, defense. The Stallions offense is basically their bread and butter. So if they can weaken that, you're really, really, really going to have a good game against the Philadelphia Stars. When it comes to their defense, it feels average compared to last year. Last year, I felt like the team that team could stop anyone, but now it's like, okay, we can somewhat stop. So again, my main key against Philadelphia for Birmingham, rush the quarterback. Philadelphia has a weak offensive line. Take advantage of that. We saw what this team already did against New Orleans with a pretty strong offensive line and a quarterback who, even if MBT is a little old, he can still run a little bit if he needs to. Now, do that against Case Cookus, that's a completely different story. He is a statue in that pocket. So they need to take advantage of that. Philadelphia has a weak offensive line. Rush that weak offensive line. That is kind of my tip for the Stallions as we kind of reach the end of this edition of Stallions Run. All right. Exciting game. Last regular season home game for the Stallions. We're going to see what happens with the playoffs. It looks like the way things are going right now, it's probably going to be a toss-up between a Memphis home game or Birmingham home game. We'll see what it's like next week, given how crazy the South is right now. But, man, a lot to kind of look at from that perspective. However, if you want to keep up with USFL Stallions news and more, follow me, Buckham USFL, and follow every USFL network account you can. A lot of news out there that we're trying to give to you when it comes to players, stats, and everything like that. I've been Buck. I'll see you next time.